The following audio is an interview between Nick Rinn and Sleuthie Goosie. There is another person on panel, but I can't quite remember who that voice is. But the discussion here is about water clarity and about the distance that Nick had to dive before he reached the vehicle.
One of my things was the water. We were talking about the water, and I'm just curious, like, was it clear water? Because it looked fairly clear to me in the video.
Yes.
Or Kylie. Yeah, it was.
Exactly what you saw there, yeah.
And was there like a cut between you going under the water and then like looking at the vehicle? Like, was any of your, I guess, descent cut?
I don't believe so. It was right there.
Huh.
Remember, it was 14 feet of water, and an SUV is maybe 5 feet tall. So you can do the math. There was only a small amount of water column between me and where the bottom of the vehicle was.
Yeah, you could see in the footage that when you turned around and you went down, you didn't have to go far at all. You were right there. So
yeah, I mean, it didn't look cut. It looked like he just turned around and looked down. That's all. So that was something a lot of people were talking about was if there was a cut in between those because it looked so close to the surface.
No, the back of the car was only, if I'm remembering correctly, 4 feet under, and then the front of the vehicle, which was lower, was 11 feet. I think it was 11 and 4. So because the vehicle was 6 feet long, it's about how far it was. But yeah, he was right there on it.
Yeah,
as he went under the water.
That's crazy.
You could see it from above. In the footage, the drone footage, you could see it clear as a bell.
So we hear from Nick, and we can actually also see on the video that the vehicle was really, really close to the surface. He had barely turned around before he was on the vehicle. We also hear that the water was quite clear. And in fact, in another interview, I believe it was Nick still, mentioned how very clear the water was, and that compared to other places they dived, it was particularly clear. We have the account at the beginning of the Adventures with Purpose, Doug Bishop saying helicopter pilots say that they could see the bottom of the reservoir. And of course, you can also see on that video quite clearly from the drone footage that the vehicle was visible from above. Now, I had this momentary thought, because you know how Sam Brown talks about them not wanting to stir up the bottom? How he was saying that they had surface swimmers because they didn't want to stir up the bottom of the reservoir. So I've got a question. How long does it take for it to settle again once you stir up the bottom? Because when you look at the video of the retrieval of Kylie's vehicle, you can see where the vehicle is being retrieved that the area is all stirred up and cloudy. So that makes me ask this particular question. If they were looking for Kylie's vehicle early on, in the first day or so, and the vehicle was in the reservoir, how long would it have taken for all the sediment to resettle? Because surely you would notice an area in the reservoir where the water was disturbed and not as clear as the water around it. So basically what I'm saying here is you've got one of two scenarios as far as spotting that vehicle in the reservoir. Either the water was still stirred up around the vehicle and it was too cloudy to see the vehicle, in which case you would see that there was an area of the reservoir that had been stirred up and where there was an anomaly between the clarity of the water elsewhere and this one area where it had all been stirred up and looked cloudy. Or the water was clear and everything had settled and you could see the vehicle from the air. To me, it's either or. And yet, nobody spotted the vehicle. So if the vehicle was there from the start, we go back to the same question. How the fuck did they miss it?